So what is the true cost of alligator Alcatraz or alligator Auschwitz? What is its real cost? The real cost is America's reputation. You see, people don't like coming to the United States much anymore. And the reason why they don't is because people coming to this country from other countries are being arrested because they have, stuff on their phone, or they say something when Trump's little ICE people hear it and then they detain that person. The world has heard these things. My brother-in-law is he's a Kiwi, New Zealander. Same with, and he married my sister. They're nervous about coming here because MAGA's ICE policies are detaining people who are visiting this country, who say or have embarrassing things on their phones or whatever, when border looks at them. Currently, America is experiencing over a $12.5 billion reduction in tourism dollars. And that's just the truth. When people look and hear about alligator, Alcatraz, or whatever the hell you want to call it, they realize that it's possible that they might show up there if they're just coming here to visit, if they're just flying to see Disney World or the beaches of Florida. Because America is no longer being seen as a country that is open to human decency and basic human respect and the value of basic human life. We don't. We treat them like crap. Even though they come here, they come to our hotels, come to our beaches, that sort of thing. California has seen an impact, not a major impact, because at least California appears to be a place that fights for their rights, or at least more willing to, but they see that Florida is looking at creating alligator Auschwitz. And all kinds of people, writing on the alligator stuff is just like cheering on the possibility that the alligators will eat migrants. And people who come to this country are seeing that. We're going to lose a whole lot of money from tourism till this is over, till this presidency is done. Because they no longer see the United States as a place that is safe. And literally, the nation of New Zealand sent warnings for people coming here. Europe is doing the same way. This is our problem. And it will be a problem until America gets back to the level where it basically shows that it will respect basic human constitutional rights, particularly those of tourists and migrants, and we will respect their constitutional rights and we will stand up for them as Americans. Till that happens, no, people will not be coming here to visit. Why would they do that? If they come here to visit and they end up in alligator Auschwitz, or whatever the hell you want to call it, what are they going to do? Are you, MAGA, going to protect them? Are you going to help allowing congressmen to go into that place and see whether or not people have been illegally detained and placed in that location? Are you, MAGA, Republicans, are you going to check and be outraged if people who just simply visited this country end up in places like that? Are you going to stand up to Donald Trump if ICE does that by accident? If that occurs, are you going to stand up for them? Because the evidence is pretty clear you won't. Because you won't even stand up for the congressmen who are simply going to try to see whether or not the American citizens that they represent as congressmen have not been abused by ICE in other detention facilities. So why would you care if a foreign national comes here visiting, ends up in one of these facilities? This is what the whole world is seeing. And that's why we're going to lose a lot more than $12 billion in tourism dollars, because that's what the world is seeing. This is the true cost of Alligator Auschwitz. This is the true cost of ISIS's behavior. The true cost of ISIS's behavior is tourism. That's its actual cost. That's where it's actually measured. Hopefully people will like, share, and subscribe to this and just try to get this out, because we just need to start reminding people, particularly if you're in the states where these things are happening, that if you have tourism is a good part of your industry, you have to actually stand up for the tourists, because the tourists right now are wanting to know whether or not Americans will stand up for them if they are abused by ICE or if they end up in one of these detention facilities. Will Americans be outraged? Will Americans fight for them? Because if they won't, then why come to the United States if the United States is throwing people into alligator Alcatraz and are cheering on the potential of alligators eating people? If that is acceptable behavior, then why would they want to be here? Because you won't stand up for them. Like, share, subscribe. Let's have a discussion about this and try to save the American tourism industry. Thank you.